Nick Dunn. For days gone. Rand and I sat in the vacant Find Amy Dunn headquarters at 5 in the morning, drinking coffee while we waited for the cops to check out Lonnie. Amy stared at us from her poster perch on the wall. Her photo looked distressed. "I just don't understand why she wouldn't say something to you if she was afraid," Rand said. "Why wouldn't she tell you?" Amy had come to the mall to buy a gun on Valentine's Day, of all days, that's what our friend Lonnie had said. She was a little abashed, a little nervous. "Maybe I'm being silly, but I just really think I need a gun." Mostly, though, she was scared. Someone was unnerving her, she told Lonnie. She gave no more details, but when he asked her what kind of gun she wanted, she said, "One that stops someone fast." He told her to come back in a few days, and she did. He hadn't been able to get her one. "It's not really my bag, man," but now he wished he had. He remembered her well. Over the months, he'd wondered how she was now and then. This sweet blonde with the fearful face, trying to get a gun on Valentine's Day. Who would she be afraid of? Rand asked. "Tell me about Desi again, Rand," I said. "Did you ever meet him?" "He came to the house a few times." Rand frowned, remembering. "He was a nice-looking kid, but I just never liked him. He was very rude to me, inexplicably so. I found it strange, very strange, that he wouldn't try to be nice to us. Most young men want to get in good with the parents. I wanted to." "And you did." He smiled. "You were just the right amount of nervous, it was very sweet. Desi wasn't anything but nasty." "Desi's less than an hour out of town." "True. And Hillary handy?" Rand said, rubbing his eyes. "I don't want to be sexist here, she was scarier than Desi." "Because that Lonnie guy at the mall, he didn't say Amy was afraid of a man." "No, he just said she was afraid," I said. "There is that Noelle Hawthorne girl, the one who lives near us. She told the police she was best friends with Amy when I know she wasn't. They weren't even friends. Her husband says she's been in hysterics. That she was looking at pictures of Amy, crying. At the time I thought they were internet photos, but what if they were actual photos she had of Amy? What if she was stalking Amy? She tried to talk with me when I was a little busy yesterday," Rand said. "She quoted some amazing Amy stuff at me. Amazing Amy and the best friend war, actually. Best friends are the people who know us best." "Sounds like Hillary," I said. "All grown up." We met Boney and Gilpin just after 7 a.m. at an IHOP out along the highway for a showdown. It was ridiculous that we were doing their job for them. It was insane that we were the ones discovering leads. It was time to call in the FBI if the local cops couldn't handle it. A plump, amber-eyed waitress took our orders, poured us coffee, and, clearly recognizing me, lingered within eavesdropping distance until Gilpin shooed her away. She was like a determined housefly, though. Between drink refills and the dispensing of utensils and the magically quick arrival of our food, our entire harangue came in limp bursts. "This is unacceptable, no more coffee, thanks, it's unbelievable that, sure, rye is fine." Before we were done, Boney interrupted. "I understand, guys, it's natural to want to feel involved. But what you did was dangerous. You have got to let us handle this kind of thing." "That's just it, though, you aren't handling it," I said. "You'd never have gotten this information, about the gun, if we didn't go out there last night. What did Lonnie say when you talked to him?" "Same thing you said," he said, Gilpin said. "Amy wanted to buy a gun, she was scared." "You don't seem that impressed by this information," I snapped. "Do you think he was lying?" "We don't think he was lying," Boney said. "There's no reason for the guy to invite police attention to himself. He seemed very struck by your wife. Very. I don't know, rattled that this had happened to her. He remembered specific details. Nick, he said she was wearing a green scarf that day. You know, not a winter scarf but a fashion statement scarf. She made fluttery moves with her fingers to show she thought fashion to be childish, unworthy of her attention. Emerald green. Ring a bell? I nodded. She has one she wears with blue jeans a lot. And a pin on her jacket, a gold cursive A? Yes. Boney shrugged. Well, that settles it. You don't think he might have been so struck by her that he kidnapped her? I asked. He has an alibi. Rock solid, Boney said, giving me a pointed look. To tell the truth, we've begun to look for a different kind of motive. Something more personal, Gilpin added. He looked dubiously at his pancakes, topped with strawberries and puffs of whipped cream. He began scraping them to the side of his plate. More personal, I said. So does that mean you're finally going to talk to Desi Collings, or Hilary Handy? Or do I need to? I had, in fact, promised Mary Beth I'd go today. Sure, we will, Boney said. She had the placating tone of a girl promising her pesky mom to eat better. We doubt it's a lead, but we'll talk to them. Well, great, thanks for doing your job, kind of, I said. And what about Noelle Hawthorne? If you want someone close to home, she's right in our complex, and she seems a little obsessed with Amy. I know, she's called us, and she's on our list, Gilpin nodded. Today. Good. What else are you doing? Nick, we'd actually like you to make some time for us, let us pick your brain a bit more, Boney said. Spouses often know more than they realize. We'd like you to think a bit more about the argument. That barnburner your neighbor Mrs. Taverayer overheard you and Amy having the night before she went missing. Rand's head jerked toward me. Jan Taverayer, the Christian casserole lady who wouldn't meet my eye anymore. I mean, could it have been because, I know this is hard to hear, Mr. Elliot, because Amy was under the influence of something? Boney asked. Innocent eyes. I mean, maybe she has had contact with less savory elements in town. There are plenty of other drug dealers. Maybe she got in over her head, and that's why she wanted a gun. There's got to be a reason she wants a gun for protection and doesn't tell her husband. And Nick, we'd like you to think harder about where you were between that time. The time of the argument, about 11 p.m., the last anyone heard Amy's voice. Besides me. Besides you, and noon, when you arrived at your cafe. If you were out and about in this town, driving to the beach, hanging around the dock area, someone must have seen you. Even if it was someone just, you know, walking his dog. If you can help us, I think that would be really helpful, Gilpin finished. He speared a strawberry. They both watched me attentively, congenially. It'd be super helpful, Nick, Gilpin repeated more pleasantly. First time I'd heard about the argument, that they knew about it, and they chose to tell me in front of Rand, and they chose to pretend it wasn't a gotcha. Sure thing, I said. You mind telling us what it was about? Boney asked. The argument? What did Mrs. Taverayer tell you it was about? I hate to take her word when I got you right here. She poured some cream into her coffee. It was such a nothing argument, I began. That's why I never mentioned it. Just both of us scrapping at each other, the way couples do sometimes. Rand looked at me as if he had no clue what I was talking about. Scrapping? What is this scrapping of which you speak? It was just, about dinner, I lied. About what we do for dinner for our anniversary. You know, Amy is a traditionalist about these things. The lobster. Rand interrupted. He turned to the cops. Amy cooks lobster every year for Nick. Right. But there's nowhere to get lobster in this town, not alive, from the tank, so she was frustrated. I had the Houston's reservation. I thought you said you didn't have a Houston's reservation. Rand frowned. Well, yes, sorry, I'm getting confused. I just had the idea of the Houston's reservation. But I really should have just arranged to have some lobster flown in. The cops, each of them, raised an accidental eyebrow. How very fancy. It's not that expensive to do. Anyway, we were at this rotten loggerheads, and it was one of those arguments that got bigger than it should have. I took a bite of my pancakes. I could feel the heat rushing from under my collar. We were laughing about it within the hour. Hun, was all Boney said. And where are you on the treasure hunt? Gilpin asked. I stood up, put down some money, ready to go. I wasn't the one who was supposed to be playing defense here. Nowhere, not right yet. It's hard to think clearly with so much going on. Okay, Gilpin said. It's less likely the treasure hunt is an angle, now that we know she was already feeling threatened months ago. But keep me in the loop anyway, okay? We all shuffled out into the heat. As Rand and I got into our car, Boney called out, Hey, is Amy still a 2, Nick? I frowned at her. A size 2, she repeated. Yes, she is, I think, I said. Yes. She is. Boney made a face that said, and got in her car. What do you think that was about? Rand asked. Those two, who knows? We remained silent for most of the way to the hotel, Rand staring out the window at the rows of fast food restaurants blinking by, me thinking about my lies. We had to circle to find a space at the Days Inn. The payroll convention was apparently a hot ticket. You know, it's funny, how provincial I am, lifetime New Yorker, Rand said, fingers on the door handle. When Amy talked about moving back here. Back along the old Mississippi River, with you. I pictured, green farmland, apple trees. And those great old red barns. I have to tell you, it's really quite ugly here. He laughed. I can't think of a single thing of beauty in this whole town. Except for my daughter. He got out and strode quickly toward the hotel, and I didn't try to catch up. I entered the headquarters a few minutes behind him, took a seat at a secluded table toward the back of the room. I needed to complete the treasure hunt before the clues disappeared, figure out where Amy had been taking me. After a few hours stint here, I'd deal with the third clue. In the meantime, I dialed. Yeah, came an impatient voice. A baby was crying in the background. I could hear the woman blow the hair off her face. Hi, is this Hillary handy? She hung up. I phoned back. Hello. Hi there. I think we got cut off before. Would you put this number on your do not call list? Hillary, I'm not selling anything. I'm calling about Amy Dunn, Amy Elliott. Silence. The baby squawked again, a mule that wavered dangerously between laughter and tantrum. What about her? I don't know if you've seen this on TV, but she's gone missing. She went missing on July 5th under potentially violent circumstances. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm Nick Dunn, her husband. I've just been calling old friends of hers. Oh yeah? I wondered if you'd had any contact with her. Recently. She breathed into the phone, 3 deep breaths. Is this because of that bullshit back in high school? Farther in the background, a child's wheedling voice yelled out, Moom, I need you. In a minute, Jack, she called into the void behind her. Then she returned to me with a bright red voice. Is it? Is that why you're calling me? Because that was 20 years ago. More. I know. I know. Look, I have to ask. I'd be an asshole not to ask. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm a mother of 3 kids now. I haven't talked to Amy since high school. I learned my lesson. If I saw her on the street, I'd run the other way. The baby howled. I gotta go. Just real quick, Hillary. She hung up, and immediately, my disposable vibrated. I ignored it. I had to find a place to stow the damn thing. I could feel the presence of someone, a woman, near me, but I didn't look up, hoping she would go away. It's not even noon, and you already look like you've had a full day, poor baby. Shauna Kelly. You ready for some of my Frito pie? She was bearing a casserole dish, the saran wrap dappled with sweat. She said the words like she was the star of some 80s hair rock video. You want some of my pie? Big breakfast. Thanks, though. That's really kind of you. Instead of going away, she sat down. You sleeping? I'm holding up. You've got to sleep, Nick. You're no good to anyone if you're exhausted. I might leave in a little bit, see if I can grab a few hours. I think you should. I really do. I felt a sudden keen gratitude to her. It was my mama's boy attitude, rising up. Dangerous. Crush it, Nick. I waited for her to go. She needed to go, people were beginning to watch us. If you want, I can drive you home right now, she said. A nap might be just the thing for you. I felt a burst of rage that she didn't realize she needed to go. Leave the casserole, you clingy groupie whore, and go. Daddy's boy attitude, rising up. Just as bad. Why don't you check in with Mary Beth? I said brusquely. And pointed to my mother-in-law by the Xerox, making endless copies of Amy's photo. Okay. She lingered, so I began ignoring her outright. I'll leave you to it, then. Hope you like the pie. The dismissal had stung her, I could tell, because she made no eye contact as she left, just turned and sauntered off. I felt bad, debated apologizing, making nice. Do not go after that woman, I ordered myself. Any news? It was Noelle Hawthorne, entering the same space Shauna had just vacated. She was younger than Shauna but seemed older, a frown on her face. Not so far. You sure seem to be handling it all okay. I twitched my head at her, unsure what to say. Do you even know who I am? She asked. Of course. You're Noelle Hawthorne. I'm Amy's best friend here. I had to remind the police. There were only 2 options with Noelle. She was either a lying publicity whore, she liked the cachet of being pals with a missing woman, or she was crazy. A stalker determined to befriend Amy, and when Amy shirked her. Do you have any information about Amy, Noelle? I asked. Of course I do, Nick. She was my best friend. We stared each other down for a few seconds. Are you going to share it? I asked. The police know where to find me. If they ever get around to it. That's super helpful, Noelle. I'll make sure they talk to you. Her cheeks blazed red, 2 expressionist splatters of color. She went away. I thought the unkind thought, one of those that burbled up beyond my control. I thought, women are fucking crazy. No qualifier. Not some women, not many women. Women are crazy.